Hey guys, Horror Man again. Today I think we're just going to have a little discussion. It looks like the classic collections and Ninja Turtles have gone on a hiatus, which is another term for saying they're probably canceled. So, unfortunately, bad news from Toy Fair. The Shredder and the Krang are most likely done. So, apparently they are doing retooling and reevaluating the sales, so we are not going to see the two characters that we needed above the Turtles. Really disappointing. I did like the designs. I mean, granted, they're not in perfect scale. They're basically all 6-inch figures, but at least it would have been something. Um, this is the third time Playmates has stopped a Shredder from happening for adult collectors, so they either hate us or they really don't like Shredder. This is number three. The original one that they stopped was their amazing, well, not theirs, but the NECA collection, which was the Shredder, a Shadow Foot Soldier, and Mystical Foot Soldier, I believe, and regular Foot Soldier, and of course the little Krang that was supposed to come with Shredder. That was canceled a few years ago, even more actually, it might be like 4 years ago. That was right before Nickelodeon got the rights, so it could have been something to do with that. I'm never really clear on it. This is a picture I actually took from my visit to the NECA studio, and these are painted prototypes ready to go. So this could be good news or really bad news. So, I mean, maybe NECA will get a chance to release this Shredder finally. I would be much more happy. Though it's not the cartoon one, at least we would get an adult friendly collector figure. This version was really cool for Playmates, man. I tell you, like, when they said they were going to have an adult line of figures coming out, I kind of had really not much for hopes, but after seeing the Turtles, they were pretty impressive for a company that does mainly kids' toys. So, to see them kind of cancel yet another Shredder was just a huge disappointment, and this one being their own, so it's kind of like a slap in their own face. They originally, after NECA wasn't allowed to make them anymore, they were going to make their own classic version of the Shredder. Now this one is still the NECA one, and here's the Playmates version. Now you can see the huge difference in sculpting compared. Like, this one looks exactly like the comic, and Playmates version looks terrible. I don't even know what to say. I mean, it's just so bad. I can't believe they actually thought that adults would want these. But this Shredder was canceled before it even saw the light of day. So, but yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the classics that have been released so far. Alright, so this is basically the whole classics assortment so far. It started with the 4 Turtles from the cartoon, the 80s cartoon, and then they made Bebop and Rocksteady, and after that they did the 1990 movie Turtles. Now, I don't have Leonardo and Donatello just because I thought they looked horrible, but I did get the Raph and Mike. So this is, for the most part, every Playmates classic figure. And to be honest with you, they're really good. I mean, I know they're not up to NECA or some of the other companies' standards, but these are cartoon figures. I mean, I don't honestly know how these would look if NECA did do them. I would say they probably would look okay, but, they're not that hard of sculpts to do, in my opinion. But some of these did look really good. I mean, especially with the facial expressions, I thought they were a lot better than some of the movie ones, but it seemed like the Wave was doing really well, and then they came out with the movie Turtles, and all of a sudden we're hearing about bad sales, and so forth and so on, and I'm not really that surprised because the way they distributed the movie figures was really bad, and the paint details look nothing like the prototypes did, of course. There's pretty much just solid painted figures. The biggest downside for me is why did they even make another set of turtles? I mean, we wanted the side characters. Why do you make, I mean, God, 8 turtles within 3 waves? One wave only being 2 characters, so just really bad decisions on their part. If there's anything about sales or what, that's their own fault. Truthfully, Playmates, that is their own fault. And another thing is, if you go in these stores, especially around my area, I never see any of these classic turtles anywhere. So maybe Maryland, the state I live in, all of a sudden it's a huge Ninja Turtles state. I don't know, but I haven't seen a classic turtle in a long time. So as far as retooling and such, I don't know what to say on that. But basically they're saying 2016, around the time of the sequel to the CGI Ninja Turtles movie, they're going to reevaluate sales and possibly release Shredder and Krang. But I would take that with a grain of salt. I truthfully don't think it's going to happen. I kind of saw this one coming. Anytime I want one of my favorite figures like the Shredder or Casey Jones from Ninja Turtles, Playmates has notoriously screwed their fans over. So, for kids, Ninja Turtles is doing so well. I mean, the license is fantastic. Everybody wants it, but I think Playmates thinks that the people that do want it are competition for their kids line, and they're really not. People that do want it are making adult geared figures. I mean, this is a license been out since the early 80s, over 30 years. It's time to loosen up a little bit on this. So let's go ahead and take a look at what the competition is out there so far. Like, what do we actually have to look forward to? Because right now we got nothing. Alright, so here's some of the alternatives out there now that Playmates is pretty much done with the adult collectors. The competition is small, and literally. So right now, basically, we have these two are from the Funko. I'm sorry, this one's from the Funko line. This is a Casey Jones. So Funko has some mystery mini type figures out. They also have some Hikari figures, no articulation, just vinyl type designer figures. This is a Shredder from the Kid Robot line. This one has a little more. This one actually has articulation, and he's the cartoon version. So here's your most closest version to the Playmate Shredder that you're probably not going to get. And then my favorite ones of competition out here are these are Loyal Subjects figures. Very cool line. These have the most articulation, accessories, and they even come with these little bio cards, which are really cool. Kind of reminds me of the classic style. So I think this is probably your best bet as far as adult collector figures go. I know they're not in the scale, obviously, with like anything. They're only like a couple inches tall, but they are very cool, very fun, and you're getting more classic characters. The Raphael is seen with the red bandana, of course, but all the other turtles have red bandanas in this line. There's also a new line of Little Subjects turtles coming out soon that will be reminiscent of the cartoon. So, some good news. And then this is, again, probably the closest to a comic Shredder you're going to get, unless NECA gets that license back. Also, Minimates has a line of turtles. Most of them are, of course, off the brand new cartoon, and I believe they're also going to be doing a 30th anniversary comics set of just the turtles, so we'll see where that goes. So this looks like it's the last hurrah, basically, for Playmates, I guess you could say, Classics line, even though this is a different scale. This is the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Raphael black and white. They also did a color version of all 4 of them with the red bandanas reminiscent of the Eastman and Laird line. This one I liked a lot better. There's no wrist articulation or ankle, but it's, in my opinion, much better than the color versions that hit mass retail. They just don't hold a candle to the original NECA ones. So here's the real question, guys. Will NECA get the license back? Now that Playmates is pretty much almost dropped out of the adult collection line, are they going to let NECA get a shot at this again? If they did, they already have the Series 2 painted prototypes done. I mean, they are ready to be made. It would be the easiest company out there to take over the adult collector business for Ninja Turtles, no doubt. And who better to do it? I mean, this is, in my opinion, the best Ninja Turtle ever made. I mean, it is just so good. The articulation's phenomenal. The paint apps are great. Likeness is great. I mean, can't say enough. I really hope that NECA gets the rights back to the comics. That way they could just jump right on Series 2. And I'd really love to see him do the 1990 movie figures. You know, all four Turtles, Shredder, Casey, April O'Neil, Splinter, Foot Soldier. That'd be good. So, you know, it's really devastating news to hear that the Playmates is again canceled another Shredder and just canceled the Classics line pretty much altogether. I mean, I know they haven't said it's canceled, but hiatus from me knowing, I mean, it's generally means it's canceled. So, you know, I've always wanted to see some of my favorites like Casey Jones in that new classic scale, but you know, is what it is. But you know, at least we do have a couple companies out there. I really do like these little loyal subjects. I think they're really good. But you know, well, let's talk about it. You know, what do you want to see? Who do you want to see take over Ninja Turtles as far as adult collector licensing goes? Try to leave a comment in the feed, and we'll go ahead and talk about it. So, thanks for checking it out, guys. See ya.